Attorney General Merrick Garland is defending his Justice Department and attempting to assure the public that the investigations into President Biden and his family are free of bias.
We do not have different rules for Democrats or Republicans, different rules for the powerful or the powerless, different rules for the rich or for the poor. We apply the facts and the law in each case in a neutral, nonpartisan manner.
Joe Concha joins us now. Quite a statement there from AG Merrick Garland. Doesn't it seem like, I don't know, neutral and impartial is not really how this DOJ operates?
Words mean so little in Washington, D.C., don't they? In the end, never judge any politician, any government official by their words, always by their deeds and their actions, right? So, for example, Merrick Garland could have sent the FBI in to get these documents at the Penn Biden Center and at the Wilmington residence, but he said, okay, don't worry. You could allow the president's lawyers to handle all of this instead. And then there's a beach house in Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, where the president has spent ample time at since he's been president, obviously before that, where the FBI hasn't gone in to check to see if there's documents there. We've now found documents, classified documents, in 4 different locations, yet the FBI, the DOJ, they seem to be slow walking this, where, as we know, with Donald Trump, there was that raid with the overhead, with the helicopters and the lights and the optics that dominated the news cycle for weeks, and therefore it looks like what Trump did was worse as opposed to Biden. So with Merrick Garland, the guy who, by the way, compared parents to potential domestic terrorists, right, just for attending school board meetings and being worried about what their kids may be taught. I don't see impartiality with Merrick Garland. I see Eric Holder 2.0 serving as the president's wingman, Carly.
And the FBI is also just now getting around to investigating those pro-life centers that were attacked, I'd say 8 months ago. I want to read this tweet. This is not going to come as any surprise to you. Former FBI Special Agent Peter Strzok, he posted this tweet yesterday or the day before saying, applying the facts of what we know of both Biden and Trump's document sagas, including yesterday's consent search of Biden's residence, to DOJ's past practice yields 2 clear conclusions. Trump should be prosecuted and Biden should not. So he didn't say what drew him to that conclusion, but he is a former member of the FBI, the same organization that Merrick Garland just defended as being nonpartisan.
Speaking of impartial, Peter Strzok, right? Remember Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all those texts. By the way, what kind of relationship was that? Not like, hey, what movie do you want to see tonight? Or we should grab dinner. It was all about how do we stop Donald Trump from becoming president, insurance policies. And this is the thing, when we see these former intelligence officers, right, who were supposed to be impartial in their job, think about what we've seen since 2016. James Comey, 2 books, a Showtime series, right? John Brennan, former CIA director, now at MSNBC. You can't tell the difference between him and Keith Olbermann. James Clapper is at CNN. You have Andy McCabe at CNN. You have Lisa Page at MSNBC. Peter Strzok gets book deals. The point is that these people, when you hear them now on television, you'd be like, no way could they have ever been impartial in their job when we hear what's going on now. So when he says one should be prosecuted, one should not, again, biased.
Also, it's important that he has that word consent in there. Consent's irrelevant. The law doesn't care that you consented. The law cares that you did the crime or not. So this red herring that the left is putting out there, consent, it's irrelevant. Don't get fooled by it. Meantime, there's this, Joe. Our own meteorologist, Adam Klotz, recovering after being brutally beaten in the New York City subway system. But Mayor Eric Adams, his top priority is apparently protecting his own image, not people like Klotz. He's launching a taxpayer-funded newsletter to counter the way he's presented in the press because he says their coverage is distorted. This is reportedly going to cost you, the New York City taxpayer, if you're watching from the Big Apple, $75,000. So
I'm watching from the Big Apple.
You are. So instead of fixing the issues leading to the negative media coverage, Adams wants to control the media.
Why does Eric Adams get negative press coverage, I wonder? When I look at the numbers, all right, so the numbers are very easy to talk about because they behave, right? In other words, you can't spin a number. And in this case, I guess you can spin a number, but this is a pretty definitive number. Major crimes rose 22% in 2022 in New York City compared to 2021, which was also a horrific year, and over 2020, which was also a horrific year. In other words, Eric Adams' record, right, is something that if it's being reported on as you're not doing a very good job when it comes to crime in New York City, and particularly when it comes to prosecuting those who commit crimes, you could spin that all you want in your newsletter. What people feel and see on the ground is much different. And what happened to Adam Klotz, by the way, I mean, talk about bravery.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw somebody, an old man being harassed and attacked the way he was, would you get up and confront a gang of young kids that could potentially hurt you in order to save that guy? I think many people would either film it or walk the other way. What Adam Klotz did was impossibly selfless and brave.
No, and he said that nobody else, he was asked, did anybody else stop and help you? And he was like, no, but I don't blame anybody. Look what happened to me when I stood up.
Right.
That's the thing,
So
right?
He understands where people are coming from there.
One more thing on Adams. The top 4 states right now that are seeing an exodus of people leaving the state. California, New York, Illinois, our home state of New Jersey. They all have something in common. They're run by Democrats who are soft on crime. So do any newsletter that you want. It's not going to change the perception.
It's also called his own PR department.
Yeah.
He doesn't really need to have a taxpayer-funded newsletter when he has his own PR
Also, he
people.
talks a great game, but he's got to start doing something. It's been over a year now.
Again, actions over deeds. That's
John,
the theme of this segment, Todd. Thank you.
Thank you, as always.
Take care. We got to go.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.